What's good, everybody?
Yo.
We are back again for another episode of the No Hedging Podcast. I go by the name of Rip16.
Yes, sir. And I am tired of fly jet.
Yeah, man. This is my co-host right here. And together we are the dynamic duo from the very mighty No Hedging Podcast, man.
For sure.
If you've been tapped in with us all season, you already know the vibes around here. You already know how we like to talk about sports. You know, best damn sports podcast show on earth, you know.
Yeah. Unfiltered.
For sure. So last week, how did you do? You know, before we get into this week, let's talk about last week. How did you do?
I think I missed one, man. Missed one. It was the Chiefs and Bills.
I told you.
Got the Ravens.
I told you.
Got the Lions. Got the 49ers. The Bills. They stunk up the joint. And
they fell short again.
Yeah, came a little short once
and
again.
You know the crazy part about that? You are the person. I went 4-0 last weekend.
Yeah, undefeated.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. But the crazy part about that is you the one who always been preaching. Can't bet against Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? When I picked them, that was something I thought about in my head. I had a little U on my shoulder.
Just saying, can't bet on Mahomes. Can't bet against Mahomes.
Can't bet against Mahomes.
Can't bet against Mahomes. Just kept saying that.
I was like, I couldn't bring myself to pick the Bills, even though I
just
think this is their
man.
best shot
You
ever.
just can't do it.
At beating the Chiefs, and they could not get it done.
That's it.
They met the criteria, but they were not selected.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, I went 4-0. He went 3-1. We had some good picks last weekend. That's still a winning weekend, so I'm not mad at it at all. For the playoffs, that brings us to a tie of 6-4.
Okay.
For the playoffs so far. And we'll get into best bets and dogs, and we'll get all that later. Y'all just hang around. But for now, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend, man. We appreciate all our new subs. You guys been commenting. Y'all been talking. We love it. You talk, we talk back. We like to talk that talk.
Yeah, we value your thoughts, your opinions, everything else. And maybe, just maybe, we might bring you guys on for an episode. Who knows? We might go live or Zoom or something like that. And
yeah, we got some things cooking. We still got some NBA season coming up. We've been discussing this thing called the off season. We're gonna tell y'all about that a little bit more later on. But for now, let's get into the rundown.
Yes, sir. The championship round.
NFC and AFC championship games, man. First one up on the slate.
Final four.
We looking at Sunday for both of these games, I believe. First game we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus Flock
gang. You know
Baltimore Ravens.
Y'all see the purple? Y'all see who I'm routing.
The Ravens are a 3.5-point favorite in this game at home. What say you, my brother?
Hey, man, I've been with and riding with Lamar Jackson
you have.
in the Flock game all season.
I give credit where it's due. You picked
Lamar
for MVP.
And if you guys don't believe me, you better start looking back and checking out some of the previous episodes. But in this game right here, this is a battle of, I believe, probably the two best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Obviously AFC, but NFL.
You think the Chiefs been the best team in the AFC?
I think so.
Really?
Right now, when it counts in the playoffs.
Really?
In the playoffs, when it counts.
I don't know.
But the Baltimore Ravens, the Ravens are the best team. Obviously, I think in this matchup, man, Lamar, he wants it, man. He really wants it. Anytime you see Lamar, Lamar's getting interviewed. All he talks about is Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
I think Lamar understands
he speaks
that.
It.
I think at this point in his career, especially after going through a new contract, all that back and forth debating might be leaving Baltimore, ended up staying, negotiating, getting his own deal, you know, doing all these different things. I think after doing all that, he understands that he has to deliver. And so far he has. With his performance this season, he's been a much improved quarterback, you know. Coming after this many years in the league, for him to do what he's been doing and display that he's a smarter quarterback, picking his spot, still being a running quarterback, but being an efficient quarterback at the same time. Yeah. I think he's been brilliant at the QB position this season.
Phenomenal.
So this by far is his best chance at winning a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So far.
And like I said, his mindset, anytime you hear him speak, it's always been about, I want to win a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl.
It's Jalen Hurts-ish.
A Super Bowl, a Super Bowl. He don't care about nothing else. He don't care about the MVP. He don't care about the accolades. He don't care about home field advantage. He understands
that ring.
He wants the Super Bowl, man. And I think this is the best year where he can get it. So with that being said, against the Kansas City Chiefs, they are at home in Baltimore. So another road game for Patrick Mahomes. Now, we already seen Patrick Mahomes kind of handle with being on the road in a crazy environment.
First time ever he delivered.
Yeah, he delivered. He stepped up to the plate and did what he had
to do.
Picks. Protected the football, played safe. Good game. But in this game, in this matchup here, that Baltimore Ravens defense is by far better than the previous two teams he faced.
So that's what I was going to ask you, right? So
this is a different defense.
The Chiefs have received some criticism saying that, okay, yeah, they won these games, but they haven't played against a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So do you foresee the impact of the game, the defense being the difference in this game? Because the Chiefs have a very respectable defense themselves. So what do you foresee from the defense on both sides of the football?
Yeah, I just think on the Ravens side of the ball, they have a lot of good players, man. Like, especially their front four. Their front four can get to the quarterback without having to do any extra blitzing.
Okay.
And if they do any exotic blitzing, when they do decide to blitz, they got guys like Kyle Hamilton that's going to get there. You know what I'm saying? On the back end, they have solid corners and safeties that, you know, they play to their strengths, right? So they can play man coverage. They can play zone coverage. They can get in your face. Ronald Darby, he's a vet, 8-year vet. He's been in the playoffs before. You got Marlon Humphreys, if he's ever healthy, if he decides to come back and play. And then you got, my guy 21 on the outside, Stevens. He's been playing very well. You know what I mean? So those guys 21. On the defensive side have been playing very, very well this season. And not to mention, you got two probably arguably the best linebackers in the league, Raekwon Smith and Patrick Queen. Those guys are some solid dogs. They're going to come. What I noticed about the Ravens defense, they're going to come at you.
They got that dog in them.
They're going to come at you. They're not going to sit back and allow you to run across. They're going to go from sideline to sideline. They're going to chase you down in pursuit, and they're going to make tackles. And they're going to make sure you feel it. They're going to make sure you feel it.
They're relentless as a defense, as a whole defensive unit. Now, on the flip side of that, though, let's not act like Spags don't dial it up.
I like Spags. You know I'm a fan of Spags.
What you say about him? He be pulling his phone out, and he be dialing it up. All right, he got a rotary phone. He got a flip phone.
Yeah,
he got a sidekick. He gonna dial it up.
And he makes that call at the right moment every single time.
Yeah, so Spags is a very good defensive coordinator, and he's gonna call us some good plays. And they have the personnel to execute. You know, you got guys like Chris Jones who gonna be after Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Gonna pressure him, speed him up a little bit through that progression. Is that gonna be enough time for Zay Flowers and OBJ and likely or some of these other guys? Possibly a Mark Andrews reappearance. Possibly. How does he integrate back in? How effective is he after all this time off? You know, healing? I don't know. But
and that's one thing, good point there, because that's one thing that Houston was doing to Lamar in the first half that kind of, threw him off his game. They was bringing blitz and bringing pressure.
See, I don't know if it was the blitz and the pressure or was it the 2 weeks off that they needed.
It's a combination of all of that. You bringing blitz and pressure, and Lamar's not able to see it. That's when you start getting to him. He started doing some uncharacteristic things, running back, trying to escape pressure, all these different things, getting sacks and stuff like that. But then in that second half against Houston, they kind of backed back and started playing a little bit more safe. And that's when he started carving them up and killing them in zone coverage. So It's going to have to be like a healthy balance with, Spags dialing it up versus, playing a little bit of zone coverage, which he does very well. But I think, one of the key factors is who's going to control the ball as far as running the football.
No, for sure.
That's going to be the deciding factor in this football game because the Chiefs, I didn't really like how the Chiefs, allowed Buffalo to run the ball. They broke some good runs and things like that. And Buffalo kind of stuck with it until they didn't stick with it. And that's when things started hitting the fan.
Yeah.
But I think the Ravens, they have that mindset and that mentality of we're going to stick to the running game because that's who we are. right? And then you have all these different backs. You got Dalvin Cook who popped off.
They're the best rushing team in the league.
Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and you got Lamar Jackson. So they got a lot of different interchangeable guys that can run the football and be effective at doing it. And their run scheme.
Oh, let's not forget they got Dalvin Cook. They added him into the mix too.
I said that.
Okay, so
I think it's going to be a good battle on the against the defenses, but I think whoever controls the ball and protects the football, that's who's going to end up prevailing in this game. But I think the Ravens defense is just way better, so I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay, so
even though it's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes.
I was about to say, so last week the Chiefs went up against the Buffalo Bills. Like I said before, this by far was the Bills' best opportunity to beat the Chiefs that they've had in years past. However, it was just hard to bet against Mahomes in that situation. Even though we haven't seen him on the road, we've seen his body of work as a quarterback in general, and he's a great quarterback.
He's great.
So there's no denying it. So I roll with the Chiefs despite that. But this situation is a little bit different, and I think because, as you so eloquently stated, that the defense on that Ravens team is just different, man.
It doesn't compare to the two previous defenses that the Chiefs had just played.
A depleted Bills team or whatever. But even more so, the thing that makes it a little bit easier for me is I watched this Ravens defense dismantle the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
And the San Francisco 49ers by far were the most complete team that we saw throughout the season, right? Up until late in the season.
The Ravens defense dismantled all the good teams in the league.
Yeah, they did. But they did it again. but we were looking at the 49ers like, okay, this is the team to beat. Mm-hmm. This team starting off is looking amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's going to beat them?
Yeah, they went 5-0.
So they went early. And then after the bye week, we saw them go on a skid. They went on like a 3-game skid. Mm-hmm. They had a bye week. They got Chase Young. They came back up again. Mm-hmm. Yo. So I mean, looking at that and looking at the situation with the Ravens, the Chiefs, and looking at how they handled the 49ers, I'm going to go with the Ravens in this spot as well. I think the Ravens defense is just different. They're so different, and
they're at home with it.
They're too dominant, and they're at home. This is one of the few games that I'm looking at, and I'm not overly concerned about the weather of them playing outside. The Chiefs played in the Ice Bowl, and they won that game handily. So they show me that they can play outside.
Yeah,
they good.
That's what
they
do.
They good. Mm-hmm. But I think that defense is a determining factor. Lamar Jackson just has to keep on doing what he's doing. At this point, he's a leading MVP candidate. It's pretty much a formality for him just to get the award at this point. And then he's also looking like they get through this game, he's looking like he can win a Super Bowl and be Super Bowl MVP with his level of play at this point. So,
he locked in.
Yeah, he's
locked in.
So
I'm gonna roll with him. Big trust. He locked in. New era.
Very
era
rare.
8, he locked in.
Very rare or hard to go against the Chiefs at this point in the season, but I think if there's a time, now's the time. I know we said this last time, but Lamar Jackson and that defense is different this season. So I'm going to go with the Ravens.
In general, the Baltimore Ravens is just the better team.
Yeah.
Just flat out.
Throughout the season,
they're just the better team.
But that Chiefs offense did click like we did not see them click before.
Yeah, but like
even with Rasheed Rice going through a little bit of an injury out there.
As we talked about, they clicked against a decapitated Buffalo defense. Travis Kelce got, good targets and receptions, good yards, touchdowns because Buffalo don't have no damn linebackers. They pulled Klein off the couch. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you start seeing some clicking. Oh, we see Kelce's back. Okay, well, shit. Go up against Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. We'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, don't even worry about that. We'll match you up with Kyle Hamilton.
That's a
Kyle
problem.
Hamilton 6'5".
Kyle Hamilton a problem out there, man.
Kyle Hamilton 6'5", got length, got speed.
Hey.
He can move around with Kelce. So we'll see what's up. That's a healthy Baltimore Ravens defense. So I think the Chiefs gonna have some problem. They got to control the football, run the football, and we'll see what happens. I think that's gonna be a key of the game. Running that football.
So you think they're gonna cover 3.5?
I think the Ravens will cover.
For sure.
Yeah, I think they'll cover.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win that. Cover.
I think they'll cover.
I think they win.
They got too much. They got too much juice. Energy is different.
Yeah,
energy is different.
And Josh Allen showed that a quarterback can run against them. So I think Lamar Jackson will even get more yards than Josh Allen. So whatever Lamar Jackson's prop for rushing, I'm looking at it real close.
Over.
I'm thinking over. You know, I'm thinking the Ravens win and cover. I'm thinking that the Chiefs defense is not going to be able to contain Lamar. And I'm looking at Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers on a stack. I'm looking at Isaiah Likely. We're going to see what happens with Mark Andrews if he's coming back. But regardless, if it's Mark Andrews or Likely in there, I still think Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson put together a nice combo, but more so Lamar Jackson rushing yards. I'm really liking that one in this.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sleep on the Chiefs secondary, man. Them boys, they play lights
That's why
out.
That's why I like the rushing prop even more.
Trent McDuffie and Jerry Sneed, them guys, they play ball, man. They solid. So
yeah, he jammed Tyreek Hill to Cancun.
Yeah, them boys,
as Tyreek Hill said himself.
Them all pros over there.
Yeah,
all
so
pro DBs. So we'll see what's up.
Yeah,
that's why I think the running game is going to be a factor. That's going to be.
It's always a factor against the Ravens.
Yeah,
you know they run the best rushing team in the league. So I don't think Pacheco about to go off for no damn near 100 yards either.
No, he ain't gonna get 100.
If they got him high on Pacheco, if his number high, go under.
Yeah, I like him for about 50 though.
50 sounds cool, but they might have his number higher than that. So the second game on the slate, switching to the other half of the league,
NFCChampionship
game, we have the very, very pleasant surprise, Detroit Lions. I've been rocking with the Lions for about a year and a half. I was like, they play hard, bro. They ain't winning all these games, but they play so hard.
Much credit to the Detroit Lions.
And
they turned
made
that thing around.
All the way to the NFCChampionship in their first playoff appearance in how many years? Over 30? 32?
30. Yeah.
So, yeah, they doing a phenomenal job. Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, all those guys over there, they doing their thing.
I remember the Detroit Lions, man, the fans used to wear bags over their head. I've never seen, in my lifetime, I'll be honest with you.
Never seen them.
I've never seen the stadium like the stadium has been for the Lions in this playoff.
Nah.
I've never seen the Lions stadium like that ever.
Different.
It's always been empty. Because they've always been losing. But I've never seen a stadium this full with so much energy. It's just amazing to see that, you know, Detroit is they got the fans are crazy.
They got the juice.
They got the juice right now.
For sure. But we talked all that. The Detroit Lions on the road this time versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Now, we just alluded to the fact of the 49ers being one of the most complete teams in football. They're a 7-point favorite in this game at home. Now, looking at this game, we just talked about Detroit, how energized, how juiced up they are, how big of a presence they've had at home, how much of a surprise they've been. Despite having some issues in the secondary, they have been pretty decent at covering the run. Like we talked about last week, their bend don't break defense. But they made a decision that, hey, we're gonna stop the run. We know we can't really hold you down on the pass. Y'all gonna get some passing yards on us, but we're gonna stop this run. Now, my issue with that is, for one, you're not gonna have that home energy that you had in these first two playoff games.
Facts.
You going to San Fran.
Yes.
All right.
That's a fact.
The elements, with it being in California, not as big of a issue as it would be on the East Coast with some of these blizzard games and all this ice bowls and all this stuff they have.
But the main element is the fact that Jared Goff isn't playing inside of a stadium.
Yeah. Jared Goff play outdoors, outside of a stadium has
historically
not been the best.
Right.
Even though he did start out with the Rams, they played outdoors in L.A.
They got a stadium.
Now, but when he was there, they didn't have SoFi.
Where they played at?
They had the Los Angeles Coliseum.
The Chargers? No, I don't
Before they built SoFi, they were at the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he started out outdoor. You know what I'm saying? But it's in LA.
Yeah.
So, but for me, the 49ers, like we said, they're definitely up until late in the season, we've seen the Ravens assert their dominance and just show that they're better than everybody else. But the 49ers, for the vast majority of the season, has been the most complete team in football. So for me, I'm looking at the 49ers to win this game at home. Detroit has been a very much so pleasant surprise team, but they're on the road. They're not getting that hometown energy that they got. Mm-hmm. They're pretty complete in terms of offense, but they have a hard time defending the pass. Cam Sutton and some of those other guys been getting beat on a regular basis. Let's just be frank. They've been getting beat, and the 49ers have a lot of weapons. Mm-hmm. All right, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Deebo Samuel, is Deebo going to play? He got injured.
50-50, shoulder.
He's questionable. So,
50-50,
but you still got Ayuk, you still got Kittle, you still got Christian McCaffrey. And Jawan Jennings stepped up, as you alluded. You like Purdy likes throwing to Jawan Jennings. So you do have all these offensive weapons, and you have all these go-tos that Purdy still has options to go through, even without Deebo Samuel. And that secondary is, everybody know they can pass on that secondary. Like, it's no secret. So to me, I feel like the 49ers stacked up offense combined with their defense, who still has some guys. They got Wagner, they got Warner. They got a lot of guys on that side of football who can stop the ball. Chase Young, you got Nick. You got guys who can get after the quarterback. You got options on defense.
The only thing I saw like that kind of worried me about the 49ers last week was they didn't get any sacks on Jordan Love. That was a problem. And then on top of that, they let Aaron Jones run very well against them, which is a strength of Detroit. Detroit can run the football.
Running backs.
They got two good running backs. The football. They can play very balanced. They use the play action game to open up the passing game. They use the running game to open up the passing game with play action. So, offensively, I think, the Lions have a shot to go up against this defense, to be completely honest. I see the 49ers defense leak a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then down the field on the back end, their secondary isn't as shored up as it used to be or could be. They can be had on the back end of that secondary. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Lions have a good shot, and the Lions aren't afraid to take shots down the field. You know what I mean?
Goff will launch that ball downfield.
Jared Goff, he has a good intermediate passing game, game where he can throw the ball 15, 20 yards down the field, in the middle of the field at that too. So, and very accurately. Now, the key factor is the 49ers defense needs to apply that pressure to Jared Goff. If you apply pressure to Jared Goff and don't allow him to sit back there like they did with Jordan Love, Jared Goff would carve you up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, but I expect them to get some more pressure. I mean, even though they didn't get any sacks on Jordan Love, I seen Jordan Love scrambling.
Yeah, he did. He moved around.
He was moving around. He wasn't just standing down there comfortable. They didn't get a sack on him, but he wasn't standing there comfortably all night either. And he threw 2 interceptions. Yeah. So, some of that might have been pressure sacks. You got Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to put some pressure on Purdy. But on the flip side of that, you have Chase Young. You got Nick Bosa. They might not be able to get a sack on Jared Goff, but they can put some pressure on him. And he's not a scrambling quarterback.
No, he ain't going to move.
He's not. So he's not going to be able to escape some of the stuff that Jordan Love can get, even though Jordan Love's not a scrambling quarterback either. Yeah. But for me, I do think the weakness of the San Francisco 49ers is probably the secondary. That's probably like their least strongest part of the defense. Yeah. But I think the pressure that they generate, the linebacker play that they have, I think that kind of mitigates some of the effects of that. I do think the Lions are a very good passing team with Laporta and Amon St. Brown and Reynolds and some of those other guys who step up, and Jahmyr Gibbs catching the ball in space. I think they utilize that very well. They have a very good offensive scheme. However, Let's not forget that Christian McCaffrey is over there. I know their rushing defense is pretty damn good, but that guy Christian McCaffrey is different.
Yeah, the thing about the Lions defense, man, I think, for them to succeed in this game, they just got to rally and make tackles. You know what I'm saying? Because Purdy not going to throw the ball 30, 40 yards down the field.
So do you think the 49ers or the Lions win the game?
I think it'll be close. I really, the only factor that got me leaning more so 49ers than the Lions is the fact that the Lions are playing outside. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that Jared Goff is the better quarterback. And I think if the Lions can control the game a little bit more, a little bit better, and run the football.
Jared Goff better than Purdy?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. No debate.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Lions, man. I'm gonna take the Lions in the close one to win this game. Yeah, I think they got the energy, they got the confidence.
Wow.
Because if you tell me that if the Green Bay Packers can go to San Francisco and do what they did and almost win, you don't think the Lions have the same shot or same opportunity to actually go out there and win with the talent that they have? I think so.
I'll say this. I don't like Detroit to win. I like them to cover the points.
100%.
7 points is a lot of points.
100%.
And I don't like that 7 points after the performance that I saw
I agree.
the 49ers have against the Packers. However, when they went against the Packers, they were down Deebo Samuel, and they still didn't have interceptions. They managed to fight through some pressure from the defense. They only allowed 1 sack. The offensive line only allowed 1 sack. So I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to get at it, and create enough pressure for this to be a close game for sure. I don't know about them winning the game, but I think it'll be another close one. They are on upset alert. However, I got to roll with the 49ers at home on this one.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, everything wants me to point to the 49ers based off of those factors, but what I saw from that 49ers defense and what the Lions can do offensively.
It'll be phenomenal if they go from no playoff appearances to a Super Bowl.
The story is great. You know what I'm saying? I just think offensively the Lions, they can exploit the 49ers defense by running the football, controlling the clock, being physical, throwing the ball deep down the field, affecting those safeties and those corners, applying pressure. You got Jameson Williams screaming down the field, opening things up in space. You got multiple options that can run the intermediate game. You know what I'm saying? So I think that applies a lot of pressure. So I like the Lions' chances here, man. So I'm going to go on a limb and go ahead and say that the Lions go ahead and upset the 49ers, man, on the road and stamp their way into the goddamn Super Bowl.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Hot. You heard it here first, people.
Hey, man, I'm still looking at that Kittle prop against that secondary. I don't like it. I don't like that secondary. I'm looking at Kittle. I'm looking at McCaffrey to score a touchdown, and I'm looking at Brandon Ayuk.
As long as the Lions can make tackles. Don't let these guys break tackles.
If Deebo Samuel is out since he's 50-50 and Jawan Jennings gets to start again, if they give Jawan Jennings another low number, I'm taking him this time.
Yeah, Lions just need to make tackles. Don't let these guys break tackles and run and get yards after catch. You know what I'm saying?
Keep him in front of you, because if you don't, your ass is grass.
But Purdy ain't scaring nobody throwing the football more than 20 yards. I'm telling you that now.
Absolutely not.
And that's what the Lions' weakness is.
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. All right, man. Y'all heard our picks, right? It's only a couple games, but we still got to give you the best bets.
Yep.
So in this spot, man, it's unique. It's only 2 games this week. NFC Championship, AFC Championship. And combined, us considering everything, our best bets this week are the Baltimore Ravens to cover the spread at 3.5.
Pretty much in lockstep on that one.
And then also the Detroit Lions to cover the point spread at 7 on this one. Given what the 49ers did against the Packers, I think it opens up the gate definitely for Detroit to cover in this spot, and the Ravens' dominance. leads me to believe, even though Lamar Jackson has not been able to overcome the Mahomes mountain, but I think this is by far his best shot, given his body of work. So we're gonna go with the Ravens 3.5. We're gonna go with Detroit +7.
Yeah, that's best of the week, man.
Best bets this week.
I like them.
No. This is interesting. You got somebody off the chain right now. You got somebody out the cage that you ain't put up.
Nah, I ain't put them up.
I don't have nobody really out the cage too much on this one, but tell the people your dog of the week.
Man, listen, my dog is actually a feline. I'm going with the Detroit Lions, man. Upset alert to upset the San Francisco 49ers at home in Santa Clara. Straight up.
49. He said the Lions going to win. I said the Lions going to cover.
I think the Lions will win that game, man.
But he said they going to win.
I think the Lions will win that game, man. I think the Lions going to win.
I think out of the matchups, given what we saw,
Give me the
Lions
better
definitely had
man.
the best shot.
Give me the better quarterback. Both of the defenses are pretty similar. They both have something to be desired on the back end and the secondary.
I think the Lions have more.
With Debo being 50-50, like I said, that's fine. But Brock Purdy ain't throwing the ball 40 yards down the field.
Nah, he ain't throwing no bombs.
You know what I'm saying? So the only thing that the Lions really need to focus on is tackling.
Yeah.
Tackle. Don't let Chris McCaffrey break tackles and scat for 30 yards. Don't let
But the problem is
Debo break tackles and scat for 40 yards.
That's been that secondary's problem, though.
Well, no, it's not necessarily secondary. You need the pursuit. Linebackers, D-line. You know what I'm saying? They need a pursuit to the ball. Safeties need to come down, make plays. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Lions upset, man. To upset the 49ers, man. It's a hot take, but I'm taking it.
All right, man. Y'all heard it here first, man. So, with that being said, man, y'all stay tuned with us, man. We appreciate y'all. This is going to be a very, very nice NFL Sunday. We got two matchups that have some juggernauts. You know, these teams fought all season. They fought through some adversity, especially the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. They fought through a lot of adversity this season. But the Ravens and the 49ers are their gift matchups in these games, so they got to go against a couple big juggernauts, but they're not exactly safe. So, you know, it's plenty to watch, plenty to look out for, plenty of bets to be made, plenty of wagers. So make sure y'all guys are tuned in, tapped in, being safe with your picks. But yeah, man, that's what we got for this week's slate, man. Y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. And anything else you want to tell the people?
Hey, man, we appreciate your support. Make sure you stay on the lookout for our next video. And like we always say,
parlays, making money line plays.
Man. Until next time, peace. We out.